Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. First of all, I'm sorry about the ring light glare on my glasses, but if I turn it off then you can't see me, so sorry. Guess you just can't see my eyeballs unless I talk like this. But I'm not gonna talk like that. But I'm so sorry that I haven't been posting lately. I've had a lot of exciting things going on and I just needed the time to soak all of those in, and yeah, so I'm going to explain a little bit about the exciting things happening, but at the same time I'm able to breathe. I also am starting to get more exciting things happening and rolling, so that is definitely hard. But I really want to come on here and talk about the exciting things that are happening because they could involve you, and I'm super excited about that. But I also really wanted to talk tonight about my why and why I do it, because I know it's so hard sometimes to focus on the actual goal instead of making your goal out to be something that only benefits you. And that's something that I never want to do. I always want to be able to benefit other people in the situation, and that is something that I need to be reminded of, and I'm sure you need to be reminded of at some points in your life. I also need to remember to thank God for the things that I have and thank God for the opportunities that He's given me. And this YouTube channel is one of those opportunities, and I thank God for it every single day, because this is kind of like my therapy session and your therapy session, and I hope that you at some point get something out of these videos. But to kick it off, this month, my family and our marching band traveled to Tennessee. We went to Gatlinburg. We went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then we went to Nashville. We performed there, and it was super fun. It was definitely a much needed break from school. I actually unplugged, so other than posting to Instagram my fabulous outfits, I unplugged from social media. I blocked all of my emails, and it was really great because into my next thing, I am also planning a conference at our high school for students around our school. So that has been really fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been really fun, and I'm starting to see the good things about it, the positives, and it just really makes me happy. But I also needed that break from that and the emails that were coming in constantly. So those 4 or 5 days that we were in Tennessee really helped me to take a step back and breathe. But that's also why, because I also wasn't here, so I couldn't film. So there's that. Those are my two most exciting things that happened this month. I am also heavily involved in SAD. I'm doing everything in that. Prom is coming up, and although I hate the prom season, I'm excited to dance the night away and have the best night. For all you girls out there that don't have dates like me, it's okay. I've never had a date to a school dance, and I've had fun at every single one of them. I've come home with my feet hurting and my heart full, so you don't need a date for a school dance. And sometimes dates are even more stressful than not having a date because you feel that pressure. So just be content with the season you're in now. Everybody's season is different, and just because your friend has a date and a boyfriend doesn't mean you need a date and a boyfriend, okay? Just remember that. But my why. So whenever I look around at the world, my community, my school, my state, I recognize the desperate need for speaking out about struggles that we all have, whether that be parental struggles, mental illnesses, mental struggles, school struggles, bullying, things like that. They're not talked about enough, and I don't understand why. We can talk about them harshly, but we can never talk about them in a good way. I recently have been critiqued for my religion, and that is something that I never imagined I would go through. I always thought all of my friends were supportive of my choices and they had their choices if they were different. But that's something recently that I've been criticized on, and it's really shook me, and I realized that that's something that I needed to talk about as well. You should never feel like your religion is questioned or critiqued because of the person that you are. And I've also been told a few times in the past few weeks that my intentions are wrong and I am only doing this for followers, for the excitement, for the interest in other people to have on me, and that could not be any more from the truth. Mainly, I do this because I am healing my inner self. I'm speaking about this because me telling you is like me telling myself. And that is something that's really important to me. So, like I always say, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. And this is my way of loving myself and showing myself that I am worthy enough to share about my struggles and I'm worthy enough to have those struggles. Um, God gives the toughest battles to the toughest soldiers, and I believe that my battles are really tough, so I must be a really tough soldier in God's eyes. Um, but with that being said, my why is to change this world. On every application, every scholarship, my goal is always to change the world through my struggles. I hope one day someone is touched by the things that I've gone through, that they look at their life and they think, you know what, someone else got through this and I can too. And, but at the same time, there are still those doubts that get put in my mind. And there are still those times when I pull myself out of that hole. And a few days later, I feel myself falling back in. And I just told one of my friends tonight, I said, the hardest part about having a mental struggle is not necessarily pulling yourself out of the hole, but preventing yourself from falling back into it. You see, there's so many things nowadays to pull you out of the hole. And yes, that is still very hard. I pulled myself out of the hole and it was so hard. But I believe in my heart that preventing yourself from falling back into the hole is even more harder because there's not as many resources for that. Some people think that once you get out of that hole that you're automatically okay, and that's definitely not the truth. I struggled for weeks after I got on my medication and I felt better. I struggled for weeks with the doubt of being on the medication. That caused another source of stress. It was that it was the aftermath of that. And am I going to fall back into this hole? Is it something that I can prevent? Is this something that I am going to struggle with the rest of my life? And even today, I still feel on days that I am falling back into that hole. And I just constantly have to remind myself that I am bigger than the hole. And if I let the hole consume me, that's whenever I've failed. And I've pulled myself out once, and I can prevent myself from falling back in. And I remind myself of that every day. And I try and remind my friends of that. That's one of my big whys, is the amount of people that I've met through this. And having my intentions questioned is really hard, considering the fact that all I want in life is to inspire people and to help them get through what they're going through. And to have my intentions questioned that I'm doing the exact opposite is really hard to handle. But I just want to remind you that you and God are the only one that know your true intentions. And if your intentions are to gain followers, I want you to take a step back and rethink that idea, because you will find so much more in your goal and in your intentions than that. You will find so much more happiness, joy, confidence, and the satisfaction of knowing that you helped someone live their life to the fullest. And that isn't what I am striving for. I'm not reaching for the stars. I'm reaching for everyone to go to heaven. I'm not reaching for the sky. I'm reaching for everyone to have kindness in their heart, to feel included, to feel loved, to feel cared for, even if no one in their immediate circle is helping them to feel that way. I used to have a big sign in my room that says, don't reach for the stars, reach for the sky. And as much as I love that quote, I have started my new motto is don't reach for the stars, reach for your goals, because my goals are way farther than the stars will ever take me. And my goals are so much more than I could have ever imagined 5 years ago. And I'm so thankful for that, and I'm so thankful for all of you who support me through that. But I also want to remind you that you are created for a purpose. You and I do not have the same purpose in life. So jealousy is not your why. Please do not make jealousy your why. Do not do things to make other people jealous. I know a lot of my friends who have been trying to help, they're like, well, wait until this person sees what you're going to do in 5 years. And that's not what I want. I want that person to look at me and say, she is loved by God, and I can see that through her, and that's why I want to be like her, not because of where she's at in her life. I want to do it because she has a spark in her that I want. I want that spark, and that's something that everyone can get. So no one needs to be jealous over that spark. That's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to make other people want. And I fully believe that everyone in this world can have that spark, and everyone in this world can feel what I feel, that complete joy and happiness that I get from having that spark of Jesus in my heart. So that's a little bit about me. I don't know, I never know if any of this makes any sense, but somehow I always seem to get at least one message that says thank you for sharing what was on your heart. I don't know ever what's going to come out of my mouth, and I just hope that it blesses someone. So I don't know when I'm going to post next, but I will hopefully try and get back to Wednesday nights. Those were kind of my favorite because they were in the middle of the week. But I don't know, because ultimately it's God's plan. And if He has something for me on Wednesday nights other than this, then I will let you all know and do something else, do a different day. But thank you for being patient with me as I navigated through all of these exciting things, and thank you for continuing to support me through all of these exciting things. Make sure to follow me on social media so you get to see the result of everything. I'm super excited, and I'm excited to be doing this one step at a time, changing the world with my light. As always, I love you, and you should love you too. Bye, guys.